The performance has been okay for the first part of the year, but obviously a little bit down versus last year, which was an exceptional year for the rough diamond market. It can be explained pretty easily. The rough demand was weaker because the demand at the end of last year and beginning of this year for diamond jewelry was weaker than anticipated. So as a result of it, we had to trim down production a little bit. We worked on our cost, we worked on our overheads to try to minimize the impact on profit. But despite all of that, we have seen our revenue decline versus last year and also our profit decline. So I think for the outlook of the market for H2, we need to look at the different markets. In the US, which is by far the biggest market in the world with over 40%, we are cautiously optimistic. The Q1 was weak, mainly because of climatic condition on the East Coast. It was really cold. Q2, it looks like Q3 are pretty good quarters, and we anticipate a pretty good selling season. We'll have a strong marketing campaign with FOREVERMARK. We believe that the market in the US should grow, let's say, mid-single digits. If we look at the rest of the world, it's maybe a different story. In China, since the Chinese New Year, the growth has been pretty weak, and we see a movement from the Chinese buyers who were buying in Hong Kong and Macau, who are now buying more in Japan, in South Korea, and also in Europe. So it's a little bit difficult for us today to track the Chinese buyers. I think that the Chinese buyers, in terms of purchasing, are going to buy more this year versus last year, but not in Hong Kong and Macau, and maybe less in continental China. But as a whole, I think the Chinese buyers should be around the same or slight growth versus last year. If we look at the rest of the world, it's a different story. India is still a little bit weak, and most of the other markets are impacted by the strength of the US dollar. We all know that the US dollar has been growing steadily, and we measure the market in dollar terms. So we believe that because around half or slightly less than half of the world market is not US dollar based, that the strength of the dollar is going to have an impact. So all in all, if we look at the world market, we'll believe that in H2 we should have a little bit of a growth, but not much, everything being added together. And for the year, we are now looking at a market in dollar terms, which is going to be either stable or with a very small growth versus what we saw last year. The 3 billions are really spent in 3 projects mainly. The Cut 8 in Juaning, which is progressing well. We have passed 50% of the execution of the project, and things are going very well there, no problem. Juaning is a mine which is operating very well today. The second project on which we are investing long-term for start of production in 2021 is the Venetia underground project in South Africa. Today we are 16-17% complete. We have done the pre-sink of the 2 shafts because it's going to be an underground mine, and we are progressing well with the decline to try to reach down to the bottom of the mine. So we are okay, but we still have a long way to go because the start of production is in 2021. In Gahcho-Kué, the new mine which is going to open at the end of next year in Canada, all the necessary hardware and equipment went through the winter road very successfully during this winter, and we are today more than 60%, 62% complete. The progression of the plant is okay. The erection is doing well. We are on time, we are on budget, and that's a good success. So I think on the 3 main projects where we are investing heavily to prepare the future, things are doing well according to plan, and there is no problem of being late. Today we have an exploration vessel which is a little bit old and doesn't have the capacity to give us the visibility on the portion we are going to mine in the next few years. We need more visibility so that we can expand the fleet and mine more out of this very big placer, as we call it, offshore the coast of Namibia. So we have, with the government of Republic of Namibia, invested into a new exploration vessel, which will be commissioned in 2017, currently being built in Norway. This new vessel with the latest technology will give us additional exploration capacity so that we have more visibility on where to mine and potentially to add more mining vessels in the future so that we can mine more diamonds of exceptional quality off the coast of Namibia. As soon as this vessel is going to be commissioned, the current exploration vessel will be transformed into a mining vessel, giving us some additional capacity to mine at sea. So which is very, very good news and showing that both partners, the government of the Republic of Namibia and De Beers, are investing together to develop this new potential offshore the coast of Namibia. Yeah, we are delighted with what's happening with FOREVERMARK. FOREVERMARK is growing very quickly to be one of the most recognized diamond brands in the world. In the US, for example, our advertising budget is now the second in the diamond market, so we are really progressing very, very fast. We are now sold in 1,600 doors around the world in 35 countries, and in a sluggish market, browns are clearly still progressing well. I think the problem is more on generic diamonds than browns. We have been focusing on brown, asking our customers to focus on brown, and it is working very successfully. FOREVERMARK is one of them, maybe one of the biggest today, and we are fully behind it. And I am visiting our dealers, our representative there, and the feedback I'm getting is very positive.